Hello everyone and welcome back to another brand new video. Today we have some more leaked MotoGP 26 footage. This morning my Discord was sent in a link thanks to Casper for finding this. A Polish website has gotten some sort of game press early access to the game. They've linked a 15-minute video of footage. So we're just going to watch through that. It's all in Polish. I haven't read it. I've just basically clicked on the link. So we're going to watch through it. There's some first person. There's some third person. There's basically a bit of everything show off the game. So plenty of footage. As you can see there, 15 minute. I'm going to guess that's Polish for 15 minutes. But yeah, let's jump in there now. Sorry if I do sound a bit hoarse. A little bit under the weather at the moment. So that's why the videos have been slow. But yeah, let's jump in now and see what it looks like. So here we are as Raul Fernandez, first person at Kota. I will link the article down below, which will include the video link as well. So first up here we have a couple of laps of Texas in first person. I'm not going to watch the whole thing. It's a 16-minute video. I'm just going to pick through some of it and talk about the bits and pieces I see. I've been very critical of the first person camera in all of my son's games pretty much. Unfortunately it's not going to get any better. It doesn't look great this to me. It doesn't look too bad here, but there's some weird things going on. When the bike starts to move, it's very evident that the camera is very much, even though it's supposed to be the rider, it's too fixed on what the bike's axis is doing. This will become evident in a minute when the rider has a bit of a moment. Overall, the camera has always been too rigid for me. It's always been... It's too artificial in what it's doing, if that makes sense. There's also a lot just of what the bike is doing on the screen that just distracts me. If I was riding in this, it wouldn't be for me. Into this next hairpin, no, not this one here, into the heavy braking, the bike does have a moment. You can really see that instead of it being the rider's eyes that you're seeing through and him looking at where he wants to go or looking at the corner, shall you say, it just clearly shows that the bike is like fixed to the camera and stuff. So I think here he has a moment here and just see like the way that head movement would be. Just going to rewind that. Just like the way it kind of yaws left and right, like that's just like at no point would the rider's head kind of do that movement. Even if the bike was doing this underneath, they'd still be looking at the apex and looking towards where they're going, not going to, at this point here, what this is simulating is if you had no neck, essentially. There's also another thing here that I'm going to play back, which I don't know if this is a bug, to be honest. Yet I haven't really, obviously haven't played the game, so I don't know. But as he tucks in here on the straight, the rider slowly but surely just kind of gets sucked into the fairing. So look how far back we are, and we're just slowly but surely getting more and more in under the fairing to the point where, like, I don't think you can get that much under the bubble. Like, you're like, he's nearly in the dash. So not too sure, is that just some sort of visual glitch or not, because it happens a few times in the footage. But yeah, I think Miller there absolutely roughing up poor Raul Fernandez. Yeah, there's more footage in a minute and you'll see more of it. It's from a tank cam, so this is supposed to be helmet cam. It's just, it doesn't look very good. I find it very hard to follow what the bike is doing with the way that the head movement is supposed to be simulated. So unfortunately I'm not a first person player, but I know a lot of people are, and this just doesn't look great for me. Unfortunately, there just seems to be a real disconnect of what the bike is doing to the helmet, through the controller, I feel. So again, I haven't played it. Maybe it's better when we play it, but yeah, I'm not going to play through the rest of the two laps. It's more or less the same. There's more of the same kind of wobbling around, so we're going to just skip forward to the next element. So we're actually going to watch lap 2 as well, just here into the straight. So again, you'll see what I mean. If you can look at, just rewind it slightly just to make it more obvious. So when he tucks in, look at these 10 nuts here that either side of the frame. So watch how they basically keep getting zoomed further back to the point where they're nearly clipping through. They're nearly off the screen now because you've zoomed in so far. And now you can't see him, so I don't understand where's the head going is essentially. And you can see here now how like weirdly floaty the camera angle there looks. That looks really poor to me. Again, if the bike is moving that much underneath you, your head would not be following the rear tire. It feels like the angle of the attack of your head is basically attached to the rear wheel. So if the rear wheel moves, the head moves accordingly the other way, as if to follow where the bike would go. But that's not the way it would work in real life. So yeah, that's all for the first person. I lied, it's not all for the first person. This is actually Quartararo down in 15th on the last lap of 3-lap race here in Portimao. This is the tank cam. Now, because this is a fixed cam, it is worse and better. So it's actually, I think it's better for riding because it doesn't as much float around in terms of when the bike moves, because I don't know if you saw it there into the turn 6 there, the front wheel was going straight, but it looked from what the handlebars are doing as if the rear was stepping out, but the camera didn't step out with it. Now unfortunately the biggest issue here is the front forks, the kind of yoke and the triple clamps. There's just a lot of what I would call artificial incorrect movements on screen. Now obviously it's gone light there over the crest and the wheel turns, that's fine. But through a lot of the corners the rider is just moving the bars for no reason. And like when you're at full lean, you're not turning the wheel into the ground. You'd be keeping the bars fairly straight. You wouldn't be turning the wheel. It's not like a steering wheel in the car where you turn more in. So there's just some weirdness about that I find, that again, from not actually sitting here and playing it, from just watching someone else play it, it's very much a distraction, because MotoGP bikes are known for having very little steering lock anyway, so the fact that in a lot of the corners the rider's almost steering the bike in terms of like turning the handlebars is pretty weird, because in real life you basically would push the bike away to turn right, so you'd push a right hand away to drop the bike down right, and vice versa going left. So the fact that the rider is turning the handlebars in as if it's a car is a bit worrying really, but that's always kind of been an issue. We have Marquez here now, Silverstone in the rain, lap 1, Bagnaia leading, unrealistic. This is some of the more worrying footage I've seen in this 15-minute clip. So he's on traction 5, anti-wheelie 5, so it's absolutely maxed out the electronics, so the bike should be as stable as possible. He's in the wet map. Now in the first preview I saw I was in power D, and I made the assumption of thinking it would be realistic and that you'd have 5 mappings, and a buddy of mine points out that it's more likely a wet and dry map, which it does look to be there, because it's W in this instance, which would be wet. So unfortunately it's even gone more backwards in terms of realism, in terms of the power mapping that does less. So not really sure what's going on there, but this whole one just looks floaty to me. Trying not to be too negative, I'm aware that I'm probably not coming across great, but again, until we've played it, it's very hard. But it still does that thing of, through this whole section here, just when he leans the bike in, the rear goes, he needs to pick it up, and it's just, for me, it just looks wrong. I'm going to replay this little section here through as it comes into Vale. Just watch the way the bike kind of like floats and crabs through here. So as soon as he picks up the throttle, fair enough, it steps out a small bit, but then every time he leans it in, it's like as soon as he gets his knee down, the rear goes, and it's like he's on, like you expect to see that if he was on like a completely dead tire or something was wrong with the bike, not the fact that he's on lap 1 of a race, or lap 2 of the race in this case. But just from watching this 15-minute video, I've just seen that a lot of these games have basically a set base, and each year we're kind of getting just a slight update on top. A lot of people from the first footage I showed off on the channel were saying kind of copy and paste, and to be honest, you can't really argue with that. So far all I can see in this is the tucked in animation is slightly different, is the big thing coming across this year. There's a new HUD. Again, look the way the rear wheel is sliding through there. Unfortunately that was real life, you'd be sent to the moon. It seems like the bike is just really not in contact with the track, which is a worry. Yeah, that's probably everything really that we're going to see in terms of GP bikes, because the rest of the footage is actually kind of the flat track stuff and stuff. So yeah, not great. And like through here, just like, what's the bike doing? Like, why is maybe it's the guy playing is a lot better than we've seen, but through there the bike is just tank slapping the whole way through, and I think that just looked weird. We have Digi Antonio here at the new, I believe it might be Canterbury. Yeah, it says on the outside Canterbury, so this is the new English or British track for the flat track. This looks good. The biggest gripe I have here is that they have like the action cam on, which as he turns in, the bike goes to the outside of the screen to simulate that he's turning. Just looks weird to me. I don't personally run that, but other than that, this looks fine. I think they only do a lap of this track here, and it's just like a indoor kind of, like a lot of go-kart tracks would be in Ireland or the UK. You've kind of some sort of older warehouse that's kind of been transformed. Looks pretty decent, this one. Again though, this isn't the reason most people are going to buy the game, so the fact that this is the first thing I said that looks decent probably might be alarming for some people. But yeah, get into this again. It just plays around. I'm going to skip past this because there's not much more in this really. We are now at the Rebel Ring on a load of road bike KTMs. As you can see on the screen, there's all the, basically anyone who's related to KTM at all in the MotoGP world, in terms of you can see like Peroni, there's Brian Uriarte, Vinales, Carpe, so there's riders through Moto 2, Moto 3 and GP, all on track here today for some sort of KTM day. So they did show off in the first kind of trailer that there would be some sort of training days where like kind of the VR46 days, the way they kind of go and they ride the Ducatis and stuff at Mugello and Misano. It looks like part of the career mode will be to go train on whatever manufacturer you ride fir's road going bike with a couple of other riders to kind of maybe it's going to be for some sort of performance benefit, or it's just kind of to maybe fill up the career mode, make it feel a bit more alive. But yeah, this looks okay. This looks, again, there's not really much to write home about this. Overall it looks fine. It doesn't look that much like Ride to me. I thought this would be very much look like Ride, just you would feel like they'd port it straight across from the Ride game, considering that's only after coming out. But it looks, again, it looks just a bit more rigid than Ride to me. So it looks like they've brought maybe the models across, but somehow gave it some other physics. So yeah, that's pretty much it though. So it plays on for another lap or two, and then I'll actually skip the end because there's some replay cameras towards the end. As I'll finish up, of course, and like I said, it will be linked in the description if you want to watch the whole thing through without me talking over it. A link will be down below. But yeah, let me know what you think. Obviously, I haven't really loved the MotoGP game in a long time. They've been kind of a means to an end, really. I've kind of, again, like I've said multiple times, that if I didn't make content, I probably wouldn't play these games at all anymore. And looking at this one now, there's a reason why I feel like that, because I don't feel like I'd be massively excited to play it. I'm not massively excited to play this game, unfortunately. It doesn't look like they've done a whole lot different from 25, and 25 for the most people was received poorly. It seemed like 25 was like the last straw for a lot of people, because I know every year you have the people who don't like XYZ of it, but people still play it and buy it, whereas like overall it was visible that 25, the views were down, purchases were down, so really that was a turning point. So the fact that 26 doesn't look massively step forward, it looks like you've maybe one or two extra features, some slight different physics. It says it's a completely reworked physics. Until we actually get hands on, we won't know how reworked these physics are. From sitting here and watching someone else play it, a lot of the physics are exactly the same, I can tell you that straight away. It'll be just whether maybe the way the bike brakes into the corner feels a bit different, or just small little things that might be on top. But yeah, we're going to end it there. Hope you have enjoyed. Let me know in the comments what you think yourselves. And yeah, I shall see you in the future for another video. Thanks for watching. Slán go fóill buachaillí.